Welcome to our video on doing participatory dissemination with youth. This video will share with you some of what we have learned through the Spaces and Places research project. Spaces and Places is a qualitative research project exploring how communities can build better civic and cultural engagement with youth. This study offered us a good opportunity to learn more about involving participants in the dissemination of research findings to a variety of audiences. Dissemination products created by youth can provide powerful ways for their voices to be heard by decision makers and service providers, as well as young people's own families and communities. These products can legitimize young people's knowledge, develop the resources they need to do well, and help build both their own communication skills and their sense that they can make an impact on the world they live in. This video will show you some of the different ways we engaged youth to create dissemination products and what we learned. It's designed to get you thinking about how to create a process for participatory dissemination in your own study. Spaces and Places has taken place in rural and remote communities in Atlantic Canada, as well as urban spaces in Ontario. Data was collected by means of image-based elicitation methods. Each youth participated in 2 individual interviews. The first focused on photographs that the youth made over the course of 7 days. The second on a 30-minute compilation of video data that showed each young person's interaction with their environment. We then involved youth in a participatory data analysis, where they helped us to understand the key themes in the data and generate an initial set of findings. These findings were represented in dissemination products created by the participants. A variety of products were created, including videos, posters, postcards, and murals. What each group produced and how they produced these products depended on a number of factors, including the level of engagement youth actually wanted in the process. We found that some groups of youth only wanted to give minimal engagement and were happy to leave most decisions up to the research team. Others opted for greater engagement and were more involved in actually creating the products. We also left room for both group and individual products. For example, at one of our research sites, youth painted a mural that contained a central collectively designed image, as well as a series of edge tiles that represented each of the participants. We also integrated a poem written by one participant into a poster and postcards. Based on our experiences, we have realized that the following points are helpful to consider when you're choosing and creating a dissemination product. First, being involved in this project shouldn't burden young people's lives. Rather, it should contribute something positive. Researchers should ask themselves how they can best facilitate this experience. Thinking about who your participants are and asking them questions like, what are your interests? How much time do you have for this project? What skills do you want to learn? And what would you have fun doing could be helpful. In one of our sites, participants didn't have a lot of time to give to the dissemination project. Because of this, young people paired themes from the data analysis with photos they had made for the data gathering. From the paired quotes and photos, we produced a set of posters and postcards describing what youth in their community needed to do well. Second, who is your dissemination audience? Are you trying to tell policymakers how resources should be distributed to youth programs? Do young people want to speak directly back to their communities? Taking some time to learn about how your audience consumes information and what barriers might stop your message from getting to them, and then determining what kinds of products are most strategic, can be key to the success of your dissemination product's effectiveness. The length of each Spaces and Places video, for example, is determined with the specific target audience in mind. Third, what is the cultural context you are working in? Do you know the history of the community? Are there culturally relevant, or importantly culturally inappropriate symbols, words, or references that you should know about? Having a local advisory committee can help you to identify some of these aspects, supporting the successful uptake of the products in the community. For example, in the mural painted in Eskasoni, a Mi'kmaq community, the traditional Mi'kmaq colors of red, white, yellow, and black were integrated throughout the mural to reflect the importance of culture to youth living there. Fourth, what resources do you have? This includes money, time, skills, and people. Can you bring in local experts or your community partner to help? Even with limited resources, some amazing dissemination products can be created with a video app on cell phones or a pen, paper, and photocopier. The images in these posters, for example, were produced with youth's cell phones. Finally, once you've chosen a format, you'll need to decide which findings should be translated into which products. In a PAR study, it is best to let this process be driven by participants. In Spaces and Places, after the data collection phase, youth participated in a weekend data analysis workshop. At the end of the workshop, they selected the main themes they wanted to share with their community and determined how they wanted to share these findings. Including these decisions in the data analysis workshop meant the findings were at the forefront of participants' minds, facilitating their discussion of both the findings they wanted to share and how. And then, time to create. Posters, postcards, murals, videos, all of them require particular supplies, skills, and creation methods. None are overly complex, but you may want to read up on techniques or bring in people who have some experience. It's important to note that while youth were highly involved in every product, the research team was ultimately responsible for facilitating the process. Youth made sure that the products represented the findings they wanted to share, but there was enough flexibility that they could participate in the process as much or as little as they wanted. As long as you maintain a balance between flexibility and structure in the process, while ensuring that young people are directing the content and the end product, you're well on your way to creating a truly participatory dissemination product.